So it was more than a week late, took a whole great deal of behind closed door negotiation, but New York State has a budget for the year.
Along with the budget, which funds everything from a gas tax holiday to a stadium for the Buffalo Bills, the legislature also agreed to changes to its 2019 bail reform law. Not everybody's happy about it. Joining us right now, the governor of New York, Gov Hochul. Gov, nice to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so 6 days late, the budget. Why did it take so long, and why did it have to be done behind closed doors? Because one of the things that you had talked about was that you were going to be transparent as governor. Why did it have to happen behind closed doors?
This was a very contentious budget, believe me. Everything that we fought for had to be done where there's give and take and a lot of negotiations. And I told the public, I'm going to be in there fighting for them and get them the results they deserve. So we took on the criminal justice issues and making sure that the bail reform was revised in a way that was smart. These were tough battles because there's a lot of passion on both sides of the debate.
I know, but why would they not want to do some kind of bail reform? These people that are the heads of each, the Assembly and the Senate, they're from this area. Do they not see what's going on in this area?
There are many approaches to deal with here. We had to make sure that more violent crimes were covered under the bail laws. We got that done. Repeat offenders. The insanity of seeing people go into drugstores and grocery stores and rob them blind and take things out of there day after day and be able to go back out. We stopped that. We made sure that there was more hate crimes were not covered. Hate crimes. So we had to make sure we could deal with hate crimes. All these were very we got the job done, is all I would say. So we got the job done, and I feel that we are going to be in a better place. But truly, until no mother ever has to the mothers stop burying their children, there's always going to be more to do. But when we have the far left and the far right unhappy with it, I know I got the sweet spot. We did the right thing for the people of New York.
And speaking a bit more about BioReform, because I know you had some major opposition from the left side, as you said, and even the right was like, we don't even want to touch it unless you overhaul the whole thing, which you were like, we can't obviously do. But when you look at this, because you originally were in favor of not tweaking this, so what happened? What did you see that you said, okay, these do need to be tweaked?
No, actually, when I was on your show on November 9th, you asked me this question.
Yes.
And I said, yes, something needs to be done. I have the transcript. But I said, but I'm not going to debate it and negotiate in public, or it never would have happened. I said, I'm about results. And I'm here to tell you in April, having had to deal with this behind the scenes for a long time, I have the results that New Yorkers want. If you have this plays out in the media and everyone taking shots and trying to gain position, it doesn't happen. I've been in this business a long time. I know how to get work done for the people of New York. And our entire budget does this. And you mentioned the gas tax holiday. People are saying, what are they going to do to help me? I cannot afford to fill up my tank anymore to get to my job or get my kids to school. These are the pains that are frustrating New Yorkers all over, and we did something about it.
Speaking about that gas tax holiday, I know that goes into effect June through December, but I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying, why isn't this reinstated now? Because I need the help right now. I need the help, a month ago.
Well, we're the only state that's doing it for 6 months. A couple of states around us, they're doing it for 30 days total. If I did it right now and suspended it, like a lot of them are, what you would see is a dramatic spike in gas prices right when the summer prices go up automatically. That'd be a hit that people cannot endure. So I said, let's roll it out June when the prices start going up for summer, all the way to the end of the year, so people know that's it. Places like Florida, they're a high five and they got a gas tax. Theirs doesn't start till October. So we did the right thing.
So you also got a little pushback from the funding for the Buffalo Bills Stadium. Even people, in the Senate and the Assembly, they were very upset because they felt like you blindsided them. Was this something that just came up, or was this something you were thinking about and it was strategic?
We knew this was going to happen. The timing was such that, and even November, we released a study that showed the costs. The locations, which was the best place, the fact that the existing stadium is starting to crumble and something had to be done. And we also knew that there were other cities very interested in the Buffalo Bills. I'm telling you, they were very interested and would have made it much more lucrative.
I know, but people thought the owner, who's a billionaire, should have put in more money.
Oh, they put in a lot more than they expected. They thought that it should be 100% publicly financed. The state share is 43%. But the good news is that with the way it's structured, and we have them here for 30 years. This is the team that plays in New York. I heard a lot about but this is a big regional asset for Western New York, as are many projects for other areas. After the first 20-some years, 22 years, it's paid for by the income tax we're deriving from the salaries of the players. So we'll not be on the hook after 22 years. It's completely financed, completely covered. So that is what I knew I could talk to the New Yorkers about. And I'm actually, when I walk around, everyone knows I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. I love all my teams. But when I've gone to a lot of bars, I've stopped in a lot of restaurants since I've been liberated from Albany. I can't tell you the number of people come up to me and they say, oh, I've got, Buffalo Bills pictures. Here's me at the game. I love the Bills. So there's a sense of state pride too as well. And I understand the concern about it. But the reason it waited so long is I had to wait till the NFL players meeting. The annual meeting was March 28th. I can't control the timing. I had to make sure they were coming up with their share. And I did not know that. Unfortunately, it coincided with the budget negotiations. So on that day when I knew they locked in their share, that we could go forth with ours. So,
Gotcha.
we got the deal done there, but also I know there's a lot more that New Yorkers are talking about: child care, health care, investments in pre-K around other parts of the state where we don't have it. So, and investing in the future. So I'm really excited about the jobs, the infrastructure. We're going to be filling potholes on Long Island today.
Oh, hurry up, please. My car can't take it anymore.
I have a personal experience with every pothole in the state of New York because I've traveled over 370,000 miles, so I'm going at those potholes. So major infrastructure improvements, cutting taxes for middle-class families, property tax rebates. Also, I just want everybody to know about this budget. I am very fiscally prudent. I'm putting away $5 billion toward reserves for a rainy day, or as I come from Buffalo, a blizzard day, because that could happen. We are prepared. So my budgets will be balanced all the way from now to 2027. I have reserves, and so it's bold and forward thinking, but it's also very fiscally prudent.
I think that's what people are worried about, because the budget is so expensive, second highest in the country, twice as much as Florida, and they have more people there. Some people are wondering, is it worth it for us to live here because the taxes are so high?
We did not raise taxes. In fact, we are rolling out.
But we're high taxed already.
We are. But believe me,
thank God we didn't raise.
I'm going to tell you, there's pressure to raise taxes from a lot of elected officials, and I said no. We're going to start giving people their money back: property tax rebates, middle class tax cuts. So we know that what we're doing here. We do not want to drive anyone away, and we're doing it in a very fiscally prudent way. A lot of our budget is one-time expenses only, money from the federal government. That's why it's high. Federal government gave us pandemic relief money to go into the pockets of landlords and people who weren't paid, people helping them with their utility arrears, getting behind in their utility payments. So a lot of this is one-time only, and I needed to spend it on pandemic relief, and that's exactly what over $2 billion of it is.
Governor Hochul, I have to ask, are you aware of Hot Girl Summer? Because that's what you're going to enact once you did these drinks to go, because that's here to stay permanently. People miss that. So that's, a big sticking point. I've seen it all over Twitter, too. So I just briefly want you to just kind of expand on that.
Okay, well, the drinks to go, it was very contentious, believe it or not. This was a hard-fought battle, but I knew the restaurants needed it. I have been in touch with so many. As you know, I go out to restaurants. I support them. And they're just begging for some kind of help. And it just was fun, too. We need to start having fun again. So we got it done. No, you can't buy it with a bag of chips or mega pretzels, but, buying something else. I like nachos with a lot of things on top of them. I'm going to call that a substantial meal. I'm going to make sure that that's in the rules. So we'll be fine. But this is a lifeline for a lot of businesses. I'm here to help the small businesses get back on their feet, get this city back, get the whole state back, and our budget does just that. I'm really excited about it.
Great. Thank goodness. We're happy to hear you saying that. You can't ever foresee closing down the state again for COVID, can you?
No. I said I was going to protect the health of New Yorkers and the health of the economy. And that's why I've been in office since the end of summer. We had some tough spikes. But as long as we can keep hospitalizations down, which is where we are right now, I'm not shutting down this city or the state. I'm just not going to do that. Can't do that.
Very good. We like that. We're in agreement.
All right, there we go.
Governor Kathy Hochul, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. It's great.
Thank you.